We are now joined by the man in that 11 stages of being a Knicks fan video, Kaz Famuyide. A very tough day, Kaz, for being a Knicks fan. You dress like it's a Fizdale funeral.
Yeah, you know, I figured I'd come in all black and pay my last respects to the Fizz. I guess the Fizz went flats today. So, I should have laughed. It sucks.
He lost his job, so that's
yeah.
Never something to laugh about, but it's kind of hard the way it all happened. Now, do you think Fizdale got a fair shot in this whole thing?
No, I don't think he got a fair shot. I've always said it's never been a coaching thing with the New York Knicks, and especially here when he came in thinking he's going to coach Kristaps Porzingis, thinking he's going to have a real shot at these two big free agent piles, thinking he's going to get a nice draft pick or something like that, and he got none of that. So he was like he was a dead man walking literally since the summertime. Since Kyrie and KD went to Brooklyn, I knew he only had what? I gave him till Christmas, but you know. The Knicks will always Nick. So
yeah, they will. Now, going off of that, how disrespectful is it that they had this man practicing with the team, coaching the team in practice, shaking hands with the brass, and then hours later they fire him?
It's typical Knicks, like they do literally each and every season. Like, and that's why I'm not really feeling bad. You know, every year, every time this really happens, when a coach gets fired, a Knicks fan usually has that sense of optimism, like, oh, this was the real problem. It's the coach. But now, for the first time ever, like this happened, and I feel absolutely nothing. I know it's never been his wasn't really his choice. It wasn't really his team to really work with. The problem with the Knicks has been top down for the longest. For the past 20 years, it's always been something from the top down. We don't care who's coaching. Red Auerbach could raise from the grave and do the Undertaker sit-up and coach this team, and nothing good is going to happen. They got guys playing out of position. They're going to ruin a real nice young stud in R.J. Barrett, who's 19 years old, who seems like he's going to be a good player, and it could be Porzingis all over again, and then we're in that same cycle of Knicks mediocrity that we've been in the past 20 years, you know? So I feel bad for Fizz because I think Fizz is a very well-liked guy around the league. He's very well-respected. I feel like he's a guy who, you know, he had a lot of success as an assistant coach, and sometimes that's probably the best you can do. There's nothing wrong with being a very good assistant coach in the NBA, and it just sucks that he had to go through this with the New York Knicks.
Yeah. Now, is there any candidate, when we look going ahead for this next coaching job, is there any candidate for you that would say he's the right man or maybe the right woman for the next job?
You know, you say right candidate, right? But you gotta remember we're talking about the Knicks here, right? So there's the right candidate and there's the Knicks candidate. The right candidates are out there. You know, you got Jason Kidd, who could be a former Knick who was probably the reason why the reason the Knicks had a good season. Mark Jackson, who seems like he should have been a head coach a while ago. But I think the actual Knicks choice is Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon. You know, she's a New Yorker. It'll be a great PR, nice PR move for the New York Knicks. And I kind of feel like they're playing with house money if they go and hire her, because if she's great. We're progressive. We're making moves. We're doing these out the box things to prove that we're ready to make changes within the organization. But at the same time, it's like, well, now we got another person to pass the buck to. Mm-hmm. Now we got another person to fire just in case this goes off the wall. This thing is not going to change unless Scott Perry, Steve Mills, you get real basketball players, basketball minds behind that front office making real good choices. It doesn't matter who's going to coach this team. That team is not set up to win. I feel bad for R.J. Barrett because he's a real talent. He's a guy you could build a franchise around. But if he's not even 2 months into his pro career and he's already going to have a new coach by the end of this week, it's sad. It's really sad, but it's not surprising. I've been a Knicks fan my entire life. I know how these things go.
You're just used to it.
I'm used to it. Man, listen, by the time I saw lightness within the darkness, it was blinding to me. So, you were born in the darkness. I was molded by it.
Born in the darkness. All right, Kaz, we got to wrap it up. But thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully, happier days ahead for you.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. When? How?